All right, gaming news. Go ahead, what you got? Oh, it was your day to bring gaming news. Don't worry, I brought some just in case. I got some, the look on your face. It looks so stupid. Game publishers are apparently terrified of efforts to preserve video games, possibly because they don't want future generations to see how cringe we all were. A hearing was held last week by the US Copyright Office, following up a petition for DMCA exemption, allowing researchers to remotely access preserved video games. Among those fighting against that exemption was the Entertainment Software Association, the US-based trade group made up of most of gaming's top publishers and represented by demographically confused lawyer Steve England. Asked about allowing libraries to preserve and host games, England said there's no combination of limitations that ESA members would support to provide remote access. And he seemed to stick to that by shooting down multiple proposals for hosting legacy games. Even access for those with academic credentials was restricted, with England claiming that libraries could offer a simple checkbox users could erroneously check and then pretend to game for research purposes.
That's how I got my PhD.
It worked with your mom, but this guy's sharp. England also derided limiting the exemption to collections with physical offices, since anyone could open a physical location and offer an online arcade. Keep in mind, this request for DMCA exemption was made by the Software Preservation Network after they published a joint study with the Video Game History Foundation that determined 87% of all games released before 2010 were critically endangered. It raises the question, if the ESA is so concerned about the demand for playing these games, why don't they create a for-profit online arcade? Maybe they haven't thought of the idea yet. You know, they don't seem super sharp. I think they just don't.
He's the guy that All-Star was about, because he ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
All right, kill me. Fortnite will now allow players to choose whether or not they see confrontational emotes, with the game's official Twitter account saying, "We want emotes to be a source of good vibes." Probably was doing this while it said that. Good vibes, dude.
That's how he was typing it?
Yeah. Just want you guys to have fun. Fortnite.
I also listen to 2000's emo punk.
You're good. According to the official announcement, the new See Confrontational Emotes setting affects 4 specific emotes. Laugh it up, take the L, whip crack, and make it plantain. Unfortunately, the last 2 emotes are probably being restricted because some people decided to use them to be racist in a game for children. Is that real?
Yep.
Okay. The new setting defaults to only show these specific emotes when used by friends in your party. Anyone else using the affected emotes will appear to be standing still, and no emote sound will be heard. The setting can be toggled to hide all instances of the emotes, or none of them. You aren't gonna believe this, but some people are upset. Players on Reddit have pointed out that 2 of these emotes were marketed by Epic as a way to annoy opponents after you kill them. So maybe players that bought those emotes should be refunded. But anyone that used bananas, an innocent, joyful fruit, for the purposes of evil, should spend the rest of their days squatting exclusively with 6-year-olds with unmutable microphones. It's what you deserve. The banana, really? No one's ever done anything weird with a banana. All
Also
right.
emotes?
Huh?
You said emotes.
Instead of emotes?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about that.
Emotes, emotion. You should say also emotes.
See, now you said emotes.
Well, you're right. I like saying words different ways. Some Stellar Blade fans may be too excited for the game. Not like that. Some players are trying to max out protagonist Eve's skill tree before the game is even out by playing the demo. One player took to Reddit after spending 60 hours grinding most of the unlockable skills. That's the only thing they can grind. Apparently enough players have been doing this that developer Shift Up has become scared. The game's official Twitter account kindly requested players go easy on the demo in order to enjoy the main game properly. Probably because any progress made in the demo carries over to the main game, and unlocking most of the skills will make the majority of the game trivial. While the game's difficulty may not turn out as intended, everything else will. Stellar Blade is apparently uncensored in all regions. No, not like that. Stop it. This news doesn't mean much for Western gamers, but the lack of gore censorship is a bit surprising for Japan's stricter ratings board. For some things, anyways. It's such a surprise that EA Japan's general manager, Sean Noguchi, is criticizing the apparent hypocrisy. The Dead Space remake was denied a rating in the country and therefore banned from release due to depictions of cross-sections of severed body parts. Meanwhile, Stellar Blade features some similarly graphic gore and doesn't even receive the highest rating. Maybe EA should have tried giving Isaac Clarke huge boobs. I mean, that sounds pretty cool to me. Maybe it would have helped, just an idea. But not as cool as our sponsor, Iceberg Thermal. Their Oasis AIO liquid cooler will keep your GPU cool, your PC quiet, and it'll look good doing it. Its pump cover rotates 360 degrees, so it can be at the right angle no matter how the cooler is installed. Plus, the fans and the water block have individually controllable LEDs for that sweet hit of addressable RGB. I just gotta chill. It comes in 2 radiator sizes, 240mm and 360, and it's all backed by a 7-year warranty. So check it out today by clicking the link below. Okay, now it's your turn. You didn't finish the quick bits either, did you? All right, I'll do them too. Oh, Dylan. Popular mod hosting site Nexus Mods says its infrastructure is buckling under the weight of a massive influx of Fallout fans who have been downloading Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas mods like they're stocking up for the apocalypse.
They call themselves the Fallout Boys.
Fallout 76 also hit a record high player count, most likely due to Prime Video's apparently pretty good Fallout TV show. But Fallout Fever is coming at a weird time for Xbox and a Bethesda. Fallout 76 came out 6 years ago, and by all accounts, a new Fallout game is years away at best. Seems like Bethesda planned this the same way they plan fixes for game-breaking bugs. The modders can deal with it. Comeback kid Atari has announced it's reviving the Infogrames publishing label. If you haven't heard of Infogrames, yes, that R is supposed to be there. Why? I don't know. But also, Infogrames had a big influence on gaming in the 80s, 90s, and noughties. The new Infogrames will publish games that fall outside the core portfolio of Atari. A statement that would make more sense if we knew what the core IP of Atari currently was. Right now, I think their main product is posters in the background of movies. 150,000 games have been sold for the Playdate, the niche gaming handheld for crank enthusiasts, after the device's catalog store went live last year, earning developers more than $500,000 in gross revenue. It's especially impressive since catalog only features 181 games, though over 800 more are available for the console through sideloading. Apparently, Panic, the company that makes the Playdate, didn't think anyone would actually make games for their device. So having almost 1,000 games must have made them feel a lot better about taking such a long break from the disco. Every time I go in there, I just panic. I just don't know, why do I keep going back? Publisher Private Division has released the first trailer for Tales of the Shire, an Animal Crossing style cozy game set in Middle-earth. Rather than fighting orcs and Nazguls over the fate of the kingdoms, players will play as a custom hobbit in the sleepy community of Bywater, where they can forage, fish, bake, and build relationships with their neighbors.
And water is ironically free.
Never mind second breakfast, you can have as many breakfasts as you want. The game was developed by Weta Workshop, the New Zealand-based visual effects studio best known for their work in film, in particular the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, but they've apparently been working on video games since 2014. Hopefully, this will spare us all a second Gollum incident, where a game studio best known for point-and-click adventure games attempts an ambitious full-scale 3D platformer, and shortly after, the tense of their Wikipedia page goes from is to was. And Take-Two has defeated a lawsuit from Cleveland-based tattoo artist Jimmy Hayden, claiming the studio committed copyright infringement by including LeBron James, and consequently LeBron James's tattoos, in NBA 2K. Take-Two also successfully defended itself from a similar infringement lawsuit in New York in 2020, but the company lost an Illinois case over Randy Orton's tattoos in WWE 2K in 2022. There's a lot of video game-based tattoo lawsuits. While a tattoo is obviously a piece of art, these cases are essentially arguing that an artist's copyright should supersede the rights of their human canvases to control their own likeness, giving them partial ownership of their customer's appearance. Which is why, the next time Linus falls asleep at a party, I'm going to be a thousandaire. Watch out. But I'll feel like a millionaire if y'all come back on Thursday for more gaming news. Unless you don't come back with any of your own, Dylan. You're in big trouble, buddy.